All right, this is why you should ghost more. All right, sister, I'm here to tell you ghost people, ghost more. You're not enough of a ghost. I love ghosting. You're going to love ghosting too once you've seen this video, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, so on my little tarot channel and on this vlog channel, we've been having a little collective conversation about some boys that I've been dating. That's a whole other story, other video. There's a lot to tell. But I've been dating a few boys and, just like dealing with a little romances here and there. I am a single girl in the world, all right? I'm traveling the world by myself. I'm a woman traveling alone. I've always been an expat on my own. I have no family. I don't have a support system. I have a safety net. Like, it's just me. That's it. And I ghost men left, right, and center all the time. I block and delete from database, detonate the data. I just, whatever. Like, I do that. I'm a ghoster. And the reason why I'm a ghoster is whenever I've not ghosted people, whenever I've tried to like interact with them, explain, or say no thank you, or whatever, it's always ended in tears. And this is like anything from threats, calling me ugly, calling me, a hoe, like all of that, to things like actual threats, or like sending me disgusting images, disgusting adult images and stuff like that, everything, to trying to persuade me that I do want it, or that I do want them, and I don't know what I want. So they try, they just don't, basically men don't take no for an answer. And it can be in all kinds of different ways, from stalking. I've had stalkers from this. I've had men that I've dealt with, that I was just like messaging or DMing before even meeting them, who would like not leave me alone, kept on persuading me that I really wanted when I said no. Even when I gave them feedback, they can't take feedback, for example, and they always retaliate. So unless you tell, in my experience, just my experience, boo, telling a man no usually ends in tears. Any contact is not good unless you're telling him hell yeah. They don't want to know, and they're not going to take, they just don't listen to women. Men don't listen to you. Men don't care what you have to say. Men don't care about my opinion. They're going to thrust themselves onto my life regardless. Even if it's a firm no, even if it's like basically stalking, at that point, they don't care. So this is why I ghost, boo. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time in my day-to-day life to be someone's nurse, mental health nurse, to owe it to these people, to take on all their mental troubles, and be like, oh yeah, I know that there's like a 99% chance that you're gonna abuse me by saying this, but let me tell you why, boo, I'm really not interested. It's not you, it's me, and all that. I don't owe it to these men, especially men that I'm just talking to in the DMs, because I know we've had a little discussion here, at Blue Angel Love Tarot and Blue Angel Universe, about how you should never ghost, especially men, in the comments, this is a message for you. This is why women ghost you, because we don't want to deal with the trauma. And think to yourself, as a man, how would you take a woman saying no? Would you still keep pressing? Just saying. Obviously, there's different, contexts and different situations. Sometimes you're in something and, there's like a little game you're playing, whatever it is. But, if you're just like about to meet someone, or you're like on the dating apps, or you're like, early into things, somebody ghosts you, it's because they don't want to have, they just don't want to have the drama. So yeah, so we had this conversation at the Blue Angel Universe, and I noticed a lot of you boo-boos told me not to ghost this boy that I was dealing with, and I was really surprised that the focus in my comments is like, obviously I love all of you, and this is just a conversation we're having, but I was really surprised that a lot of the comments were more like concerned for him than it was concerned for me. And I think it's like indicative of how like our society has forgotten like what women actually deal with on a daily basis with men. Just because this boy was scrumptious, by the way, he wasn't scrumptious. I have deleted him from the database because, there's always something wrong with them, right? But that's a whole other video of heartbreak and whatever. I mean, he's still kind of scrumptious, and I might unblock him or whatever, but we blocked each other now. So anyways, look, I'm just really surprised that how do I even say this? I just want to put this message out there saying, judging women for ghosting men is not fair. It's not the same as a woman ghosting a woman. It's not the same as a man ghosting a woman. It's really not the same dynamic, because when I'm dealing with a man, I don't know if he's gonna R-word me. I don't know if he's gonna, do something to me. I just don't know. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's married, if I'm gonna get into trouble. I don't know what his situation is. And 9 times out of 10 with men, they have lied to me when I first met them, misrepresented themselves. I've had everything from men like fully like in a relationship, living with his wife, to like crimes, like people like the wanted, like literally, like I cannot stress to you enough like how important it is that somebody like me can ghost someone like that when I feel something's off without feeling guilt and regret, because it was my guilt and regret that got me back into these connections with these people who had all these things to hide. If I had just followed my intuition and ghosted them, none of this would have happened. And the reason why I would get into these relationships with these people is because I would like ghost, and then I would feel guilty, so then I would respond, and then they would persuade me because they wouldn't take no for an answer. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, just, let's just be mindful of that. And let me give you a few examples. I've had a guy who was a pillar of the community, in his town, whatever. This is like back in London. He wanted to get with me, and we had a phone conversation, and I didn't like him. I didn't like his attitude. I thought he was really pretentious and weird, and he liked me a lot. And at the end of the conversation, he was basically like decided that we were gonna get together for a date. And I told him that I wasn't interested, and probably didn't want to go out with him, but that like we could be friends or something like that, just to get rid of him. And he went totally ballistic. He just like started flooding me with like hate messages and like saying, you have one more chance, like I'm gonna block you unless you give me one more chance and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, please block me. You know what I mean? And by the way, I'm telling you, this guy, pillar of the community, knows the mayor of his town, like, very well-to-do, very respectable, little bit bill. But this is how he treated a girl that he never met on the internet. And then he would like call me incessantly. And then in the end, he was like, I'm going to delete you from the database. And as some of you know who watch my tarot channel, that's one of the catchphrases. And that's where it's from. This man who never met me, I was just like, I just didn't want to go out with him. I didn't think we were compatible. I just didn't like him. This man who never met me was like, you will be deleted from the database. So like, oh my God, please. Where is the database? I want to be deleted from it. So that's, actually a lot of my catchphrases come from like horrible men saying horrible things to me, and then they become like running jokes, amongst me and my friends, because my friends make my dating life bearable, because there's always like a running commentary on what's going on in my love life from them. So yeah, delete from database guy. And then in the end, I was like, just block me. And then I remember he like texted me a couple of like things of like really bad like adult stuff, but it was like subjugation of women, like really bad, including animals. And I screenshot all of that, and I was like, I'm gonna send this to everyone in your community. And then he got scared, and it was just disgusting. So this is what comes of telling a man that you're not interested. There's another man that like, it just literally pretty much all of them, apart from one who is now who is a dear friend of mine. Literally, dear friend of mine. I'm not gonna tell you who he is, but he is like a scrumptious little boo-boo in my life. And we kind of met like through a dating app. And he was like, immediately, I was just like, that's not what I'm looking for. And we just immediately just became friends. So that's like literally the one time in my life. Everybody else, you tell them you're not interested. First date, second date, before the date, doesn't matter. Guy you used to date. I got a stalker. I got a stalker who, like is a former, like, I got it, like, whatever, I'm not even gonna get into it because he wants the attention, because he's also a narcissist. So whatever, there's a narcissist in my life who like still stalks me and is trying to just like literally has fake accounts saying he's gonna destroy my life. And he's this like really established, well-to-do person, and he has like nothing, you know what I mean? Like, and also like whatever, super old and everything, like he has like everything to lose, and he's like going after me, this poor little bit. I got nothing, but he didn't like the rejection. So literally every guy in my life who I rejected, and I mean, like, nothing personal, boo-boo, I'm just not interested, has been aggressive towards me, literally tried to destroy me. Like, I'm talking like men. I had one guy, okay, so the old guy who's like after me, he's like my current active stalker. He's like a senior citizen, and he's like, and I don't talk about him because I don't want to give him attention, you know what I mean? But he's like insane, and I don't know at what point it's like Alzheimer's, and I'm sorry, and I don't mean to make fun of anything, but I'm serious. Like, at what point is it like dementia? At what point is it like real? You know what I mean? But these men put me in these situations, and it's because I didn't, I should be able to ghost. I should be able to not interact with them. And, this, like, the stalker guy, like, his whole point is that I owe him, like, communication. I don't owe him communication. He was extremely abusive when he had the chance of speaking to me. I owe him nothing. Anyways, to tell women that they shouldn't ghost is like so unfair, because a lot of men have a really bad attitude towards women. There's another guy, maybe a lot of them are repressed gay, I don't know, because they hate women, because they can't be out gay, I don't know, but like, anyway, no offense to my gay, I love my gay boo-boos, I do, boo-boo. Obviously, this is like, I love you, boo-boo. But you know what I mean, like, some of these guys that I've interacted with, just, they hate women. There's another guy who was like, oh, he was a weird one. I used to be scared of him. I used to think that he was going to kill me, but he didn't in the end. But he kind of low-key, like, threatened me. Like, at the very end, I literally, like, I looked into his eyes, and he was like, I thought he was going to, like, kill me and throw me into the Thames. Like, literally, I was like, you're going to kill me. I was like, you're going to kill me tonight. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, I should be able to ghost all these people. I should never have to feel guilty. And I think this is just something we should talk about. So I'm not saying, you boo-boos, that you're wrong, or like, I'm not coming for anybody, but I'm just saying, I agree that ghosting someone is wrong if you have like a marriage, happy marriage and everything, or someone was pretending they were happy with you, one day they disappeared. But boo-boo, if you're with someone who you don't know, you've been dating them for a few months, or someone you haven't even met yet, that you're DMing, someone you went on one date with, if a woman, especially a woman, should be able to ghost if she doesn't feel comfortable, if there's red flags. Even if you as a man, for example, think you did everything right, if a woman just ghosted you, it means you did something wrong, boo-boo. And she doesn't have the bandwidth, like, in her brain, to explain to people, to explain to the world, to explain to this man, to be his mental health nurse, and like take all his drama, like, I just think it's unhealthy to tell women that they should explain them. Like, I don't owe you any kind of an explanation as a man, zero. If I didn't have a nice time on the date, and then I ghosted you instead of explaining, and you didn't do anything wrong, it just means I wasn't attracted to you. And the reason why I had to ghost you is because of the world that you men have created for us, because of the hell that you have created for us. So just bear that in mind. And if you don't like that women ghost you, change society. Change this hellhole of an earth where women have to feel like this all the time, where there's a constant double standard, where you're constantly told to look a certain way but then vilified for it, when you're like the whore Madonna syndrome is still well upon us, and all of that stuff. I deal with that kind of crazy all the time from men. They don't, no more. Change the world, boo-boo. You don't want women to ghost you, change the world so she can feel comfortable to talk to you about these things. Another thing, if sorry, I'm getting really highly strung now. That's one thing. And the other thing, boo-boo, if you think you didn't do anything wrong, maybe it's 50-50. Other 50% chances you did something wrong, and she did feel uncomfortable with you. And I've had a few situations recently where it's like, on paper, these boys were fine, and probably they're going to vilify me and say that I like broke their heart and whatever. But the truth is, they all made me feel uncomfortable in some kind of a way. And because I am a woman, all alone in the world, traveling alone, I don't have any family, that's like, I got my own support system, and that's it. And a freaking inflatable alien in the back, if you do something kind of weird or out of left field, it's going to be a ghost, boo-boo. It's going to be a delete. I'm sorry. Because I don't have the time. See, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. You should have taken more effort. If you wanted to put your best foot forward, you should have taken more effort. You should have taken more care and taken care of my divine feminine instead of making me guess. I shouldn't have to guess. I shouldn't have to feel dysregulated or disempowered in the situation. I should feel lifted up and empowered. And maybe you just didn't lift up and empower the girl that you were with, and that's why this happened. So this is my little spiel on it. All right, babies, don't come for me. But girl, if you, like, and maybe you're masculine and you deal with men and, whatever, you're, anyone in between, boo-boo, okay? This is a heteronormative video because I am a girl and I date men, and I know, God, such a scary world, the scary world of the heteronormative dating, right? So I'm talking about the heteronormies, because that's where I come from, and it's scary out there, Bill. Like, let me tell you, it's hell. But, you know, whatever your situation is, especially if you're dealing with men, you know, don't be afraid to just ghost them. They created this world for us. They made this situation. Don't cry for them. Don't feel sorry for yourself. And if you got ghosted, it's either because of the world that you created and that upholds you and upholds your privilege and all your buddies, or it's because you behave like a douche flute and don't even know it because of the world that you created and all your buddies and all the privilege that you have that makes you think that any douche flute thing you do is totally fine. But the girl didn't think so. So anyway, this is my little 2 cents, boo-boos. Hashtag not all men, all right? But mostly, yes, not the aliens. All right, I love my boo-boos. I'm gonna do some more videos today about some of my love adventures. But yeah, anyway, I do still love my men, but just, you know, be mindful of this. I love you, stay sparky. Oh, subscribe, boo-boo, all right? This is a new channel. Subscribe, turn on the notification button, and like the video, all right? Or else. Stay sparkly, stay gorgeous, stay moisturized, and may the angels protect you, my boo-boo.